Let's talk about a puzzle that you've definitely seen in the financial news. You hear this huge, impressive number about the stock market, but then you look at everything else going on in the world, and it just doesn't add up.
So picture this, it's October 1st, 2025, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that number they report every single night on the news, it just blasted through to a brand new all-time high. A historic day for sure.
At first glance, that sounds amazing, right? You're thinking the economy must be firing on all cylinders, investors are super confident, it's all good news. But, and this is where it gets weird, that record was set on the exact same day the US government went into a full shutdown. And as if that wasn't enough, a major report also came out showing the economy had unexpectedly lost 32,000 jobs. So, what on earth is going on? How can the market be celebrating with record highs while the economic news seems so bad? Well, that is the big mystery we are going to solve today. And I promise the answer is going to change how you think about the market.
All right, to crack this case, we have to go back to square one. What is the Dow Jones Industrial Average anyway? We hear the name constantly, but what does it actually measure? Okay, so think of the Dow as a super exclusive VIP club for 30 of the biggest, most influential companies in America. It was created way back in 1896 as a simple way to get a quick snapshot, a pulse check of how the US stock market was doing.
And that's exactly what we do here. We take these complex ideas and break them down. So, welcome to everything you need to know about finance. Now, real quick, I have to say this. What we're doing here is a deep dive into how this stuff works. It's purely for educational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. And hey, if you enjoyed nerding out on topics like this, do us a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help us make more of these explainers. Okay, back to that VIP club. So who gets an invitation to this club of 30? Oh, you definitely know their names. We're talking about the absolute titans, like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. But you've also got the classic, iconic American brands like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Disney. It's a real mix of tech, banking, retail, and industry. Okay, now we're getting to the real heart of the mystery. The secret to the Dow's sometimes bizarre behavior. It all comes down to one little detail in how it's calculated.
And here it is, the Dow's big secret. See, most other major indexes you hear about, like the S&P 500, are market cap weighted. That just means the bigger the company's total value, the more pull it has on the index. Makes sense, right? But the Dow, it's price weighted. In the Dow's world, the only thing that matters is a company's share price. So, a $1 jump in a $400 stock has the exact same impact as a $1 jump in a $40 stock. The actual size of the company? Totally irrelevant.
And this right here, this is what blows people's minds. Just look at these numbers from March 2025. You've got Goldman Sachs as the top company in the Dow, having the most influence. At the very same time, you have Apple, a company worth roughly 20 times more than Goldman Sachs, and it's not even in the top 10 in terms of influence. How is that possible? It's simple. Goldman Sachs just had a higher price per share. And that, right there, is how you solve our puzzle. A really good day for just a handful of high-price stocks can drag the entire Dow average up, even if the broader news is terrible.
Now, this quirky little design feature has made the Dow's history one heck of a roller coaster ride. This kind of drama isn't new. The Dow has seen more than 100 years of incredible booms, gut-wrenching busts, and unbelievable comebacks.
I mean, just look at this journey. It was born in 1896, and since then it has lived through literally everything. The Great Crash of 1929, the insane one-day drop of Black Monday in '87, the absolute bottom of the 2008 financial crisis, the lightning-fast COVID crash in 2020, and yet every single time it has clawed its way back to hit new highs, just like it did in our opening puzzle.
So this unique structure and this long, dramatic history, it all leads to a really big debate among the pros. In our incredibly complex modern economy, is the Dow still a good measuring stick, or is it kind of overrated? And honestly, the critics have some really solid points. For one, tracking just 30 stocks out of the thousands in the US is a tiny sample. And as we just saw, that whole price weighting thing can really give you a skewed picture of what's happening. That's why a lot of financial professionals will tell you the S&P 500, which tracks 500 companies and weights them by their actual size, is a much better barometer of the real US economy.
You know, the financial advisor Rick Edelman really summed it up perfectly. He basically said the Dow is just an inaccurate picture compared to bigger, broader indexes. It might have the famous name, but it might not be the sharpest tool in the shed anymore.
But don't write off the Dow just yet. Despite all its quirks and all the criticism, it has managed to stick around for over 125 years. And there's a reason for that. It knows how to evolve.
You see, the Dow is not some dusty old list that never changes. It actually has a built-in survival mechanism. There's a committee that gets together every so often, and their job is to look at the 30 companies and ask, does this list still represent the U.S. economy? If a company isn't as important anymore, they swap it out for a new one that is.
And this really happens. General Electric was one of the original companies from 1896, and it got kicked out in 2018. More recently, in 2024, they brought in modern powerhouses like Amazon and the AI chip giant NVIDIA. This is how the Dow stays relevant, by making sure it reflects the industries that are driving the economy right now.
So here's the bottom line. The Dow is a survivor. It's a little weird, sometimes confusing, but it's a constantly evolving snapshot of American business. It explained our puzzle today by showing us how its strange math can create headlines that seem to defy reality. And it has stayed in the game by changing with the times. It really makes you wonder, what companies will be on that list 20, 50, or even 100 years from now?
So, if this got you thinking and you want to keep digging into how the market really works, you are going to want to check out our next explainer. We're going to unpack the S&P 500, the index that many experts say tells the true story. Thanks for joining me.